If you use this natural hair color mask even once, I think you're going to surprised by how different your hair can look and feel afterward. And I'm not talking only about covering the appearance of gray hair, I'm talking about the overall look of your hair, the softness, the shine, the smoothness, and that healthier, more polished appearance that can sometimes be missing when our hair becomes dry, frizzy, or damaged. And the most important thing about today's recipe is that secret is not simply in the ingredients we are using. The real difference comes from how we are preparing them. Which ingredient goes in first, which one comes later, how long do we heat them, and at what stage do we add each ingredient. These may seem like very small details, but they can make a big difference in the final consistency, color, and overall result of your hair mask. So if you decide to try this recipe, I really want you to follow the process carefully and watch the video until the end because I'm going to explain every step as we go. I'm Dr. Madiha, a licensed hair care practitioner, and today I'm sharing one of my favorite natural hair color masks for anyone who wants to give their hair a richer looking color while also making it feel smoother, softer, and more manageable. So without wasting any time, let's start preparing it. The first ingredient we are going to use is the black tea. I'm using approximately 1.5 tablespoon of black tea leaves. Black tea is one of my favorite ingredients to combine with henna because it helps us prepare a natural dark and rich herbal liquid that we will later use to mix our henna into. And this is where the preparation becomes important. Instead of simply adding everything to water and boiling it together, we are going to prepare our ingredients in stages. This gives us much control over the recipe and also allows us to create a more concentrated herbal mixture. Along with the black tea, I'm adding around 7 to 8 cloves now. You really don't need to use too many cloves here. 7 or 8 are more than enough for this recipe. Cloves are traditionally used in many hair and scalp preparations, and they also contain naturally occurring antioxidant compounds. I especially like adding them to the herbal hair recipes because as they slowly infuse, they create a beautiful, rich herbal mixture. Now, along with the black tea and cloves, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of sugar. And here comes the very important step. At this stage, we are not going to add the water immediately. First, we are going to gently heat the black tea, cloves and sugar together over medium to low heat. Please be careful here because the purpose is not to burn the ingredients. We only want to gently heat them and allow the sugar to begin melting. Keep the flame low and continue stirring. You will gradually notice the sugar begin to melt and the entire mixture starting to change. This is exactly what we want. But please don't increase the flame just because you want to finish this step quickly. If the heat is too high, the ingredients can burn and that is definitely not what we are trying to achieve here. So give it approximately 3 to 4 minutes on medium to low heat while keeping an eye on it and stirring when needed. Once the sugar has melted and everything has been heated together, now we can start adding our water. But again, don't pour all the water at once. Start by adding a small amount first and mix everything together carefully. Then gradually add the remaining water. You will immediately notice the liquid beginning to take on a deeper color as the black tea and clove continue to infuse. Now, allow this mixture to simmer gently over low to medium heat. What we want to do is to reduce the liquid so that it becomes more concentrated. So if you start with approximately 1 glass of water, allow it to cook until you are left with roughly half of that amount. Don't rush this process, please. Let the ingredients slowly infuse into the water. As the liquid reduces, you will notice that the color becomes deeper and richer, and this concentrated herbal liquid is what we are eventually going to use to prepare our henna paste. While this is cooking, I have one question for you. I want you to tell me in the comments at what age did you notice your very first grey or white hair? Was it in your 20s, in your 30s, or much later? I read your comments and I'm genuinely curious to see that at what age most of you started noticing the premature grey hair. Now, once your liquid has reduced to approximately half, we are going to add our next ingredient, which is flax seeds. I'm adding approximately 1 tablespoon of flax seeds into it. I really like adding flax seed to the hair mask, especially when the hair feels rough, dry, frizzy, or difficult to manage. When the flax seeds are cooked in the water, they naturally begin releasing a gel-like substance. This is one of the reasons flaxseed is so commonly used in the homemade hair gels or masks and conditioning treatments. That natural gel can help the hair feel more smoother and more manageable. And it can also give the final hair mask a more conditioning feel. So once you have added the flax seeds, allow the mixture to cook for a few more minutes on the low heat. You will gradually notice that the consistency of the liquid begins to change slightly. We don't want to make a very thick flaxseed gel here because remember, we still need to mix the liquid into our henna. We simply want the flax seeds to release some of their natural gel into our herbal liquid. Once that happens, turn off the heat. Now, strain the mixture carefully while it is still easy to strain and just look at the color of the liquid we have prepared here. This is the herbal liquid that we are going to use as the base of our henna hair mask. But before we mix it with the henna, there is one more ingredient I want to add, and this is fresh aloe vera gel. I'm using approximately 2 tablespoons of aloe vera gel. If you have an aloe vera plant at home, you can use fresh aloe vera gel from the plant. If fresh aloe vera is not available or doesn't suit you, you can use a good quality pure aloe vera gel. Now, there is a reason I'm adding the aloe vera at this stage instead of boiling it with the everything from the beginning. I personally prefer not to cook fresh aloe vera for a long period of time. Instead, I allow my strained herbal liquid to cool down until it is warm rather than boiling hot, and then I mix in the aloe vera gel. This way, we still get the beautiful conditioning effect that I want from the aloe vera without unnecessary boiling it for several minutes. Aloe vera is especially useful in this recipe because henna can sometimes leave certain hair types feeling little dry. By adding aloe vera, we are giving this mask an additional conditioning element. It helps the final mixture feel more moisturizing, and it is especially useful if your hair is already very dry, rough, frizzy, or even chemically treated. Mix the aloe vera gel very well into the warm herbal liquid. You want it to blend as smoothly as possible so that you don't end up with the large pieces of aloe vera in your final henna paste. Now we are ready to prepare our actual hair mask. Take the amount of henna that you need according to the length and thickness of your hair. For this quantity of the herbal liquid, I'm using approximately 2 tablespoons of henna, but you can adjust the quantity depending on your hair. If your hair is longer or thicker, obviously you will need more. Now start adding the herbal liquid to the henna little by little. Please don't pour all of it at once. Add a small amount, mix properly, and then add more if needed. We are looking for a very smooth and creamy consistency here. The paste should not be so thick that it becomes difficult to spread, but it should also not be too runny that it starts dripping everywhere once you apply it. Take your time and mix everything properly. Make sure that there are no dry pockets of henna and no large lumps remaining in the paste. The smoother your mixture is, the easier it will be to apply evenly from the roots all the way through the length of your hair. Once the consistency is exactly how you want it, we are going to add approximately 1 tablespoon of oil. I am using olive oil here, but you can also use coconut oil or almond oil depending on what oil suits you. I especially like adding a small amount of oil when preparing the henna for the hair and is already dry or damaged because it gives the mask a more nourishing feel and can help the hair feel softer after washing. However, we are not going to add too much of oil because we still want the henna mixture to coat the hair properly. 1 tablespoon is enough for this quantity. Mix the oil thoroughly into the henna paste. Now we have one final ingredient to add, and that is turmeric. I'm using around half a teaspoon. You can see on the screen, just this much would do. But there is one thing I want you to remember, please. I prefer adding the turmeric once the henna mixture has cooled down completely to the room temperature rather than adding it while the mixture is little hot or warm. So once your mixture is no longer warm, add approximately half a teaspoon of turmeric and mix everything together one final time. And now our natural henna hair mask is ready. Before applying it, make sure your hair is properly detangled and that you can work section by section. Apply the mask evenly, starting from the roots and then moving down towards the length of your hair. If your main concern is grey hair, pay particular attention to the areas where you have the most visible greys and make sure those strands are properly coated. Don't just apply a very thin layer, please. You want enough product on the hair so that every section you are targeting is properly covered. Once you have applied the hair mask throughout your hair, allow it to sit for approximately 30 to 45 minutes. After that, rinse your hair thoroughly. You can even keep it till 1 hour also. You can wash according to what normally suits your hair and scalp, but make sure of the henna mixture is completely removed. And then take a look at your hair once it has dried. One thing which can change your results is after this one, do not use a shampoo to wash your hair directly. You have to rinse your hair with the plain water only on that day, and the next day you can apply the black hair oil, which is one of my favorites and most famous remedies on my channel. And then after that oil you can use the shampoo. Which oil I'm talking about is on the screen up there. You can click there, and the shampoo which gives you the brighter hair color and prevents your hair from graying is here on the screen. You can click there. I'll see you there.